Yeah, first I'll put it back over to you. G0FDP.
G0FDP M0 JCF. How are you hearing me?
All okay, Mark? Normal service resumed.
Yeah, okay. Well, FDP, you are 5 and 9 plus 25, and UKN, you are 5 and 9 plus 30, maybe 35, and my SWR's gone up very, very slightly. I'll say I did move off frequency to tune, but this low down, it seems to be quite sensitive to the tuning. If I just nudge it a few kilohertz, that's enough to muck the tuning up. I can get the SWR down to 1.5. At the moment, we're sitting about 2.5, getting on for 3. Back to you.
Pointing it, but you sound fine, Mark. It sounds very, very good indeed, and you're a very strong signal. I guess it goes round to Dave now, NRH.
Yeah, M0 UKN G6 NRH in the top band net. Yeah, all copied there. Mark, you were about 5 and 9. A bit scratchy at first, but it's sort of improved. Everybody's all 5 and 9. Trevor sounded okay, and also you, Guy. You're 5 and 9 plus. Unfortunately, I'm using a modern rig. I'm using the IC 7300. I was hoping to use the 101B, but for some reason I can't get it tuned up on top band. It just doesn't want to know. So there we go. With that, I'll quickly pass it over to you, Trevor. Nice to hear you on the band, mate. And over to you. M1 TAD G6 NRH.
G6 NRH, Mike 1 Tango Alpha Delta returning to the group. Yeah, well understood there, Dave. Yes, obviously, Guy, you're well 5 and 9 with me. FAA, Laurie and Frank FDP, only 5 and 5. Obviously, Mark is founding in here, all plus, and also Dave NRH is plus. But as I said, no problems at all reading anyone. And I'm only running 25 watts here, so obviously I'm on the 7300 with a 75-foot wire going up to the chimney stack on a dodgy old MFJ auto tuner. So how I've got you, I haven't got a clue. But I will say one thing: it's the first time I've ever, since I've been licensed, on top band. So it's the first for everyone there. So yes, I'm quite chuffed actually. I'm just putting it in the log to say that I've actually got it. It's just come up there. Do you understand? It's a band you've not used before. So obviously I'm well pleased with that. Guy, I've got the van. If you need it, you know, I can pop over and move the cabinet. No problems at all, mate. You know, it's empty. I'm sure you'll get whatever you've got, you're getting there. Anyway, so I won't hold it on. I'll put it back to you guys. You're running the show. Golf 0 UKN from M1 TAD in the group.
Yeah, G0 UKN returning. Well, that's a lovely offer, Trevor. Perhaps I'll give you a buzz and discuss it with you. It's a bit of a trek. It's in a place called Ditton, which is near West Malling, so on the way to Maidstone. Sort of that direction. So yeah, and then I need to drop it off of my lockup, which is on the way back. It's on just off the M20 at Vigor. So what I was going to do was get the Scout trailer out and take it in the Scout trailer, but that sounds like quite a nice offer. If I was going to do that, I might make my daughter actually make space in her workshop and bring it back here. I'll have a think about that, because the next window of opportunity to go and get it is actually next week, so there's some time to consider things. But that's a very, very nice offer. Brilliant. Well, your 75-foot wire, Trevor, is sounding great. You're a very strong signal. Very, very good indeed. Noise level's quite low. Signals are quite good. So it's all looking good here at the moment. Let's see if there's anybody else who wants to join us, and then I'll put it round to the top of the list again. But Mark JCF, as I say, maybe just if you're worried about the SWR, I don't think any of us will have an issue if you just put a carrier up on this frequency at the start of your over and peak your ATU actually on the frequency we're using, so maybe that might be an idea. If that's a problem. Yeah, everybody's a good signal tonight, and more relaxing than 80 metres, which has been very noisy the last few nets, and I know that Mr. MCV ran away from the 80 metre net as soon as he possibly could, which I think is a bit of a shame, because there is the possibility of having other members from further away, now the nights are drawing in, join us on 80 metres, so I think that's a bit of a shame to drop the 80 metre net. Maybe somebody else will pick it up, because I think it's worthwhile. Okay, I will pass it back around to Laurie, G4FAA in the group. Actually, no, let's see if there's anybody else there first, and then I'll hand it to Laurie. Anybody else want to join the Cray Valley Monday evening 160 metre net?
Mike 0, Whiskey Delta Victor.
Mike 0, Whiskey Delta Victor, WDV. Is that Daz by any chance?
Yes, it is. I did not think this was going to work. I've got a ridiculous aerial, and if anyone can hear me, I'm absolutely gobsmacked.
Well, you're 5 and 9 in Eltham, old chap.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you a bit about my aerial when it's my turn. But I guess I'll just let it go around to find out who can hear me. I'll just pass it back to you. Mike 0, Whiskey Delta Victor.
Yeah, no problem, Dav. You are after M1TAD, so there's now 7 of us on the net, so you pick it up after Trevor, M1TAD, who's at the moment on the bottom of the list. Anybody else want to join before I pass it to Laurie? No, nothing heard. Okay, round to you, Laurie. G4FAA in the group, G0UKN.
Are you there, Laurie?
It appears Laurie has disappeared. I bet he's trying to use his other transmitter, and it's about 3 weeks off frequency. See, I can see something on the band scope.
I can hear a muffled voice.
Nothing heard. I reckon. Mark, are you back with us?
Yeah, I can hear a muffled voice, but I have got a +20 buzz tonight. I'll explain the setup when it comes round to me again, but I was sure it was Laurie trying to get in.
Well, I can see a carrier about 10 kilohertz up, massive carrier, so I don't know whether he's tuning somewhere else. Perhaps a little bit further than 10 kilohertz actually, looking at how I've got the band scope set. Never mind, one more call and then we'll pass it round to Frank. G4FAA, are you with us? G0UKN. Well, I certainly am not hearing anything. He was such a good signal on the other rig. Round to you, Frank. G0FTP in the group. G0UKN.
G0UKN, G0FTP. I quite agree there, guys. It was an absolute brilliant signal on the other rig. Why has he changed it? Because he's gone somewhere now. Well, I can't hear a dicky bird from him, and nothing at all. So if you're considering listening to us, Laurie, go back to the original rig.
For those of you who are wondering, 1.8 plus 1 or 100 is 1.95 on the lower side band, so we're on 1.905.
I've actually tuned up my setup here on the MFJ versatile tuner with a Welch power supply thing to check it out. And running it roughly, to me it's popping up to nearly 20 watt output power on this band at the moment. I'm putting up to 40 on the rig, but it only is sending out about 20 watts altogether, which is obviously means that it's not a completely good match, I must admit, because the SWR is a little bit under 2, about 1.8, nearly 2, so it's not really brilliantly tuned to the bag, but it works, and I can keep the power down, it's not too much of a problem, so I'll keep it that way. As you can see, it's gone up and down, but mostly on high speed, so I get about nearly 20 watts. Right, that's my setup here, and it's on the IC718, not on the Icon 706, which I have used before. On this one, the AM side of it's not as brilliant as the 706 on AM, but there we are, that's good. Now let's change it over. Right, enough waffle for me at the moment. It's over to Mark, M0 JCF, over to you from G0FDP.
G0FDP M0 JCF, and if you gents will just bear with me, I'm going to give you a blast of CW just while I just tweak the knobs. 1 second. Okay, that's got my SWR down to about 1.3 to 1. I don't think the valves were suffering too much. Running about or if I whistle, it's about 50 odd watts, but on normal speech it's around 25-30 watts, and that's just looking at the MFJ Deluxe Versa-Tuner 2. A lot of people disparage the MFJ stuff, but made from junk, but no, it was one that was given to me by Silent Key back in 2018, I think it was. So you know, you don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Okay, once again, like last month, I'm using the TS520S, the analog hybrid. I'm now in the garage. Now I've got 2 shacks now. I'm one of the lucky greedy ones. I've got 2 shacks. Basically all my more modern gear, like the TS590 and that, I mean, that's about as modern as it gets. That's all up in the loft still, but the 520S, my old TR20 7200G, a few crystal sets, my DX160 communications receiver, and a few other bits and pieces. They've all been moved into a bench in the garage. The twofold. One is it gave me flexibility. You know, it was I couldn't operate late at night or first thing in the morning because of obviously noise being, you know, in the loft above the bedrooms. You know, it's never going to work. So I moved all the old gear into the garage, and I built up this little bench, and it's great. You know, I could do a bit of soldering, bit of tweaking and that. And of course, I've got all the old gear here. It just gives me that flexibility to work. Now, I haven't got AM capability yet out here, so I won't be on the AM section. But yeah, I've just all I've got is a short length of RG58, military grade RG58, out to the Unun, which is just outside the garage back door. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups tonight, and so that's the story, and I'll give you some reports now. Okay, going just as I've got them written down. Dave G6NRH plus 30. Well, Laurie, I did hear him before I called in, and he was a good signal. He was probably, well, he's got to be over plus 20, because I've got a plus 20 buzz this evening on top band, and I think it is local. It could be the fluorescent lights in the garage. G0FDP plus 25, UKN, G0 UKN plus 30, plus 35, Trevor M1 TAD plus 30, and Dav M0 WDV plus 25. And for the record, I'm recording this again just so everyone knows what they sound like on this radio in my garage on this net on a Monday evening. So I think it goes round now to Dave G6NRH, but I can be corrected. So G6NRH M0 JCF in the Cray Valley top band net.
M0 JCF G6 NRH in the Cray Valley top band net. Yeah, all copied there, Mark, and everything seems to be okay. Just the tuner just tuning up again because it was down to about 1 point now, and now it's retuned. Oh, now it's gone back to 1.1. Anyway, so yeah, all copied there, mate. And you started off at sort of when you first started your over, it seemed a bit slightly off frequency, but then it seemed me better. So yeah, could tell by your old voice. And I thought I've got better frequency. So yeah, everything's okay. Oh, what I've got, as I say, I've got the IC 7300 going through a, I suppose it's MFJ IntelliTuner. And then it goes down into G5RV, which seems to be doing the job. So far, so good. Dear, oh dear. I just can't believe I can't get the 101 to work. It just doesn't want to know. Oh dear. I might try the 857D to see if that might do, because I was using that last time on reception, and we'll see. But everything seems to be holding up okay this end. With that, I'll pass it over to you, Trevor. Great signal. I'll say everybody's all 5 and 9, and nice to hear you, Dav. It's really nice, mate. And we'll see how we go. Over to you, Trev. M1 TAD G6 NRH in the group.
G6 NRH, Mike 1 Tango Alpha Delta returning in the group. You understood there, Dave? Yeah, as I said, obviously for them that didn't hear before, I've got a 7300 again going into an MFJ teletuner with a 70-foot wire on the end of it going up to the chimney stack on the house. So, I didn't expect this, as I said, because this is the first time I've actually used a top band. I don't know if any of you were trying to get hold of the guys during the field day. Graham, obviously I just couldn't get hold of him at all. I managed to contact Foxtrot Bravo on 80 metres, but I think with my loop area, I think I'm too close to both of them to get anything else. But I did manage a Foxtrot Bravo on 80 metres. Yeah, as I said, I've got. I don't know if you remember, Guy, but I've got that whip aerial, top band whip aerial that I was going to put on the van. But obviously, as I said to you before, the fittings and all that were, like you said, an old CB aerial fitting. Well, I finally got hold of one. The trouble is, it's so top heavy, I don't know how to actually fit it on the van without grounding it all out. So that's maybe when we do get to meet up, perhaps maybe you can give me a bit of advice on that, and I can put the 897. Yeah, it's still in the box. Yeah, but I can use that in the van. Also, as I said, find out what's happening with the UK ACs. Are you going up to Eaglesfield Road? As I said, I've got a few things to do, but I need to get up on my chimney stack, and at the moment my son won't let me anywhere near it. He won't let me anywhere near the ladder. He's shaped it up, so I can't get up there. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, the van, no problems at all there. Obviously, you've got the lock up at Arval, where Foxtrot Bravo have got theirs, I'll assume. And it's, Caroline lives in Labouring, but just off Labouring Vane Road, so obviously I'm backwards and forwards there all the time. But I can quite easily come and pick you up, mate. I mean, we'll be down there in half hour, and then back to you. So no problems at all. Just give me a day next week, which obviously you can lose a couple of hours, and then we'll go and pick it up. No problem. Okay, well, I'm waffling on, so it's over to you, Dave. Now, Mike 0, Whiskey Delta Victor from M1 TAD in the group.
M1 TAD from Mike 0 Whiskey Delta Victor. Yeah, thanks, Trevor. All copied. Yeah, I'm picking everybody up, although I do have quite a lot of noise here, and it's all on my side. But I'm reading just about everybody. The weakest signals are Frank. Everybody's about 5 and 5, 5 and 3. Mark was 5 and 9, but Frank was barely showing on the S meter. So I'm not sure why that is. So So yeah, let me tell you about my crazy antenna. I honestly didn't expect anyone to be able to hear me, or for me to be able to hear anyone. It's, I mean, you've all got your long wires and stuff in the garden, and I've got something which is literally about 2 meters long in the attic of my house. It's got a massive coil. It's obviously got a huge loading coil. It's got a tiny bandwidth. Basically, if I go 1 kilohertz up, the SWR flies off the scale, or 1 kilohertz down, it flies off the scale. So it can only do this one frequency. Yeah, after lots of fiddling around with the length, literally millimeter by millimeter, I managed to tune it so the SWR is now 2. So it's not great, but that's as good as I could get it. I just wanted to see if it was possible, and clearly it is. But obviously it's useless for whizzing around the band. It's a Cray Valley net antenna specifically until I get a wire around the garden, which is my next project. Well, actually, I've got some more projects to do before then. I'm working on a fan dipole first, but after I've done that, there'll be a long wire around the garden, which hopefully will work a little bit better than this. Yeah, it's nice to catch up with everyone on top band. I'll pass it round now to. Actually, no, I can't pass it round to Laurie because he's not there. In fact, I thought that maybe Laurie wouldn't be on because he does his Morse tutor class on Mondays. I was thinking of maybe joining that because I'm trying to learn Morse at the moment. So, but maybe I'll catch up with Laurie next Monday on that. On VHF, sorry, 144.9, I think he said it was. Maybe someone can correct me if they happen to know. So I'll pass it round to, maybe I'll pass it back to Guy, because I'm not sure if Guy was meant to go before Trevor. I'm not quite sure. Golf 0, Uniform Kilo November from Mike 0, Whiskey Delta Victor. Yeah, M0WDV, G0 UKN returning. Yeah, well, I'm net control, so I'm at the top of the list, and then it's FAA, FDP, JCF, NRH, TAD, and then your good self Dab, so it was completely correct to point it back in my direction. Before I pass it on to Laurie, or we see if Laurie's back, G8ITB is at the moment down in Wales on the Llyn Peninsula. So I was going to give him a call to see if he can hear us. I'm not sure if he's got transmit capability, but GW8ITB, are you listening? Golf 0 Uniform Kilo November, listening for you as we have a path of darkness. GW8ITB, GW8ITB, G0 UKN, listening for you. No, nothing heard. Okay, Laurie, have you unbroken your setup? We missed you on the last over. I guess you were on another frequency tuning up or something, but we didn't hear anything from you last time, so let's listen now. G4FIA, G0 UKN in the group.
Well, I heard him that time, but he sounded very, very muffled, like he had a mouthful of cotton wool.
You're a kilohertz high on frequency, Laurie. I managed to zoom up in time. You're on 1906. Back to you. Okay, well, we'll call you in next time round. I mean, net in on me, perhaps. Net on me at the moment. I'm on 1905 dead, according to the 756. But, you were about a kilohertz high on frequency, so the 706 was doing lovely. The 204 can net it in. I'll try once more, see if you've managed to adjust things from G0 UKN. No, exactly the same. Dear, these amateurs, I don't know. Okay, we'll carry on without you and see if you can net in on us during this over, but you say you're about a kilohertz off. There you go. One more call for Richard and I'll pass it on to Frank. But fine on your antenna, Dav. I'm very impressed. So that's basically, I guess, a mobile whip, and then you can adjust it millimetre by millimetre to get it on frequency. And that's how you had to set those up and just choose a frequency. So 1905 is at least in the middle of the band, and this is the net frequency we always use, and it tends to be clear. So if you've got it to work on this, it seems to be radiating well, because you are a very good signal with me here, so it does seem to be working well, which is excellent. Right, one more call for GWA-ITB and then round to Frank. So GWA-ITB, are you copying G0-UKN listening? Nothing heard. Round to you, Frank.
Yep, okay there guys, G0-UKN. G0-FDP returning in the 160 Cray Valley net. Yep, okay, no problem there. Now, I'll tell you what with Laurie. Now, I tuned up to 1906 and he was okay up there, but obviously he's one step out. So he's got to tune it down to 1905. I was starting on 1905 and 0.5 to start with, which meant that your signal actually was not really distorted at all, even 0.5 up. So I'll put it down now to 1905 exactly. So it should be probably a bit clearer. Maybe because we're not that far away, it doesn't really make that much difference. So that's what I was talking about now. I just looked on the WhatsApp and I see that Richard has said, what frequency are we on? And you've actually now told him, and he said, thank you very much. So whether he's sort of got it set up, maybe he has or he hasn't, but as you say, you called him, but you didn't hear anything from him. No, well, I won't hear anything from him, because my setup was not that brilliant to get long distance on the 160 metre band, so not really quite what I can be able to manage. So I will have to leave that to you guys, see if you can pick him up, but I wouldn't be able to do so. So anyway, Laurie, 1905, it's not 1906, bring it down a kilohertz so that you can tune in and listen to it. Because you are a good signal when you first came up, no problem at all. But as soon as you change around and you've got on slightly different frequency, you are definitely very well muffled. Right. Nice to hear you, Dab, as well, and you're set up in the loft. Well done on that, yes. Well, you're 5 and 9 plus 20 with me. Perhaps I'm not as great a signal as yourself, but from this location, because I can never get the G5RB tuned down to 1.1 or 1.3 even to get a brilliant signal out. It's nearer the 2 mark rather than the lower part, so as well as I can do on it, I'll have to do what probably Laurie's done with his G5RB and sort of put something on it to make it extended to 60 metres. It can be done, I know, but I've not done it, but it can be done. Anyway, don't waffle for me on that, and I'll now pass it back round to M0JCF. Mark, over to you from G0FDP.
G0FDP M0JCF. Well, it's as I say, everyone's good apart from Laurie. I never considered actually that he was off frequency. I just assumed it was an audio problem because he just sounded so muffled. But I haven't retuned or anything to have a listen. I'm sure he'll get it sorted at some point. What else have I been doing radio wise? I didn't think I was going to get on tonight. I'm actually on call call, and they pretty much called me out in the mornings. It's either been 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, or it's been sort of 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, and I was overdue an evening one, and I thought, as luck would have it, I'll just join at 8 o'clock when the phone goes, and then that would have been it. So I'm taking a chance and see what happens. But radio wise, I've been using this rig pretty much exclusively now for a couple of weeks. I had some good DX on it at the weekend. Obviously there was the field day, and I tuned around there. Where did I hear him? I think it was 15 meters. I got Namibia. So that's a first, actually, Namibia, even on this radio. I haven't worked Namibia yet. Well, I have now. And I worked South Africa, and I've worked South Africa quite a few times, but I've worked South Africa this week on this radio. Today, I worked, I'm sure you've all worked in Peter. ZD7, where are we? ZD7 FT. He's down on St Helena Island, or Ascension, or whatever name they've given it now. There's that little group of islands down there. But I've worked him now on a few bands, 10, 15, 17 and 20. What else? What other DX I've had? Apart from, Chile. I got Chile for the first time as well on this radio last week. So, I've had some good DX on this radio using the 90-foot long wire. And, I've been really quite pleased with the way that, it works. I think a lot of people are just put off, aren't they, by older radios. They don't like the idea of the analog dial for a start. That really will put someone off if all you've ever seen your whole life is a digital display. It is going to be, if you play mind games, it's going to be too much of, too much brain work to work it out where you are or where someone is. Of course, you've got the load plate and drive and all the rest of it, that puts people off, and I think it's just the idea of it. An old radio, I think a lot of people, modern hams, and I say that not disparagingly, but a lot of modern hams, they're operator hams that maybe have come from a free band background, and quite a limited free band, as in 11 meters, possibly 45 meters. But they're operators. They're not technical, and I'm not blanket saying this about everyone. I mean, I come from a background. I started in 1974 building radios and shortwave listening. A lot of these people have come from the CB free band background, and literally they've had a radio in front of them that was pretty much twist and go, like one of those automatic mopeds. And I think that's what's wrong, is that they equate old radios as a backward step, rather than equating an old radio as it's just that. It's just an old radio. It does what a modern radio does, but without the bells, whistles, filters, whiz bangs and all the rest of it. But I've been banging on about this radio for some time. I'm very pleased with it. But then, as I say, I've got an old school mentality when it comes to amateur radio, albeit I've only been licensed 4 years. So, it comes with the territory, I suppose. If you want to learn, if you want to sit down and work out what all these different alien knobs do, then, it's quite easy. I've still got to get my act together and start finish the restoration of things like my AT5 and stuff like that. And then I can carry on retro, moving forwards, backwards, sideways. But no, a lot of people, they just, they get their license, and I think, they think, well, I'm going to buy an IC 7500 or an FT991A or an FT450D and all that old nonsense, switch it on, and instantly, boom, they're going to get, any country in the world at any time of the day or night, just by pointing their finger on the screen and moving the waterfall around. I know a lot of old school hams are now using that gear. But once again, I think that they've been bought up through many variations on commercial radios. Plus, a lot of them are built stuff. I don't know why I'm rambling on like this. I just went off on a tangent, I think. So I think I'm ending it round to Dave now. G6 NRH. This is M0 JCF in the Cray Valley net.
M0 JCF G6 NRH in the Cray Valley top band net. Yeah, I totally agree with you, Mark. I've been licensed since 82, so it's not that long ago. But this starts off with that, and I've slowly drifted into the old radios, like the ST101Bs and all the rest of it that goes with it. And they are lovely radios to work with. I was hoping to use it tonight, but I just can't get on top band for some reason. It doesn't want to know. It's rebelling. I suppose all the times I've been using it on 80, it doesn't like going on top band. Oh dear. I'll have to find out. Maybe there's a dodgy connection somewhere. But I know what you mean. But it's great when you think of what you can do with the old Sept. I'm still waiting to sort out the linear. I know that's most probably a swear word to some people, having a linear, but that's mainly going to be for 80 and above. I won't use it. I can't use it for top band. But just going to do that. I'm just waiting for a relay to turn up because of the negative 17 microamps to switch the thing on. So when I get that, I can stick that and use the phono lead to feed it, going through a relay, so I don't have to worry about swapping it over to make it positive. So we'll see how we go. When I get round to doing that, once the relay turns up, it's only going to be about a 2.5, 3 volt relay. What else? It's all good fun, mate. But I haven't been on the radio that much, I must be honest. I've had certain things to do, and everything's got put off at the moment. But hopefully I will try. I don't know if I'll be doing the competition tomorrow. I'm not really into comps. I know it's only 2 meters, and I've done it a few times, but I know I've got the co-linear. I can mostly do about 20 stations like old Trevor does, and do that, but I'm just not inclined. I'm sorry. I'm just not my thing. Anyway, nice to hear you all, and I'll just pass it over to Trevor so he can most probably whack me over the head with a rubber chicken or something. M1 TAD G6 NRH in the group.
G6 NRH, Mike 1 Tango Alpha Delta in the group turning, all understood there. No, it's everyone's preference, Mark. Sorry, Dave. As I said, I've only had the co-linear on the chimney stack, and I've got a little Yagi up there, mini Yagi, which I use as a buffer. But since I've had the two on the same rotator, the co-linear has gone up to about 1.8 spiral, where before it was just 1 to 1. So obviously the two are interacting, so I need to do something about that. But I will join the UK ACs, as I said, give the club the point, and see how we go from there. But no, Mark, I'm obviously using modern kit at the moment. Makes it easier. But I've got a KW 2000A. I've got a Viceroy, and I believe I've got a Vanguard. Obviously, I'm sure if I've got that wrong. Guy will correct me. And again, was going to start to refurbish these bits of kit with Guy's help, but then I'll go and have an heart attack. So obviously everything's been put on hold. So I'm back to using the new gear rather than the old gear. I mean, I'd love it if I could get that one of them working and actually come on top band. As I said, this is the first time I've used top band since being licensed. Because obviously before it just didn't lend itself, but actually getting the 75-foot long wire up to the chimney stack and putting it through this MFJ tuner, I was surprised that it actually worked. But so I'm a bit gobsmacked about that. Okay, right, that's okay for me. So it's where are we? It's over to you now, Daz. M0 WDV, M1 TAD in the group.
M1 TAD from M0 WDV. All copied there, Trevor. So I'm one of these newbies has got the latest tech. Not been in the hobby for very long, I decided I wanted to get something that could not break the bank and do as much as possible on different bands. So in the end, I plumped for an Icon that does VHF, UHF, HF, 6 meters, does a lot. It's the 705. That way, I don't have to fork out on lots of different transceivers and things. So mainly budget constraints. I have got a linear amplifier now that'll do 100 watts, and I've no need to go beyond that at my home QTH. So that's me sort of done for now in terms of radio equipment. Obviously, there's loads of experimentation and work to be done on antennas and things, but in terms of the rigs, I'm planning to make that purchase last a long time. Having said that, Mark, I do I've seen your classic looking rig on the YouTube video, which is presumably the one you're using. It looks very nice. And you said you were recording this, so I guess is this going to be in one of your YouTube videos as well? Interested to know. UKAC tomorrow, yeah. I'm not really massively into contesting either, but I will join in just to give some points to the club. I don't really have the right kit. I don't have a Yagi. I have a collinear on the roof, which is better than where it was. It used to be in the loft. It's now 2 meters higher and outside and performing a lot better. So hopefully I can make more contacts than I was able to last time. I was quite impressed. I don't know if anyone saw Ian's note on the Ian JMM on the reflector. He managed to work quite a bit of northwest Europe using France anyway, and I think I can't remember exactly how many countries now, but it was not bad given that it was not even a Yagi. It was just a little horizontally polarized halo 2 meter. Very impressive, and made me wish I'd put a halo up on the roof now. Maybe that'll be next year's edition. With that, I'll pass it round to Guy, G0UKN from M0WDV.
M0WDV, G0UKN. Can I give Richard another call? He was saying he was hearing voices, but slightly below his noise level. So GWA-ITB, GWA-ITB, I wonder if there's any copy now. G0UKN listening for you. GWA-ITB, GWA-ITB, G0UKN listening for you. GWA-ITB, GWA-ITB, I've got a feeling I heard something then. G0UKN calling you.
He said Jackie Dog.
That would be too complicated for him. No, nothing heard. Okay. Right, Laurie, back round to you. Have you worked out what frequency we're on? G4FAA, G0UKN in the group.
Yeah, G0UKN, Golf 4 Foxtrot Alpha Alpha. Is that any better, over?
Yeah, 5-9.
Oh, blimey. I don't know what's been going on. Switchery troubles, I think. When it comes to the AM bit, Guy, I'm going to use the TERS 4 as the Frog 7 receiver. Associated with the 85 seems to be playing up as well. Oh dear, and I checked it out earlier, yesterday or so before, and everything was working. There we go, gremlins. That's M0WDV. I can read in 3.1, even with the key multiplier on. It's only at best 4.1, but everyone else,
you travel 5-9 now. JCF initially 0 and then suddenly 5-9 plus. Frank FTP 5-3, but I can copy you. And of course you're 5-9 plus, guy. Right, pass it on. But hopefully I'll have a go with AM on this 2 and 4 event when the time comes. G0 FTP to take. Golf 4 Foxtrot Alpha Alpha.
Golf 4 Foxtrot Alpha Alpha, G0 FTP. Yep, okay there, Laurie. Well, you're back up into the 5 and 9 bracket now, and your audio is a lot clearer than it was before on when you was on 1906, which is now you're back to the 1905 session. So that's okay. You're all right there, no problem. I've only given you a signal strength of about 5 to 9, no, not 5 and 9, 5 and 2, 5 and 3. Well, my setup is on the G5RV as well, Laurie, but it's nowhere near as tuned up, as clear and as accurate as your one. But it does get out, but gonna have to keep the power down to a lower level. That's got to be right. I keep hearing little dings on my WhatsApp here, and I think it's Richard sending messages. No, he didn't hear anything that time, guy. So Richard's obviously listening, but whether he can actually hear us or get contact with us. I know on some occasions on this 160 metre net, we have had stations up in Scotland. I can't remember his call sign now. I'm sure Guy will remember it. When we've actually worked them up there on 160 metres. So it all depends on the conditions. So whether that will be any better this evening, as it's getting later in the evening now, nearly 9 minutes to 9. So maybe. I know the noise level's gone up slightly to what it was when we first started. It was around about the 7 mark, and now crept up to about 8. So the noise level's risen a little bit. Anyway, and I quite agree with you on the mark on the situation of old rigs, yes. I wish I still had my 101. That was the 101, not the one that came in after the actual Yaesu 101. It's the first one. It had analog readout. It did have 160 metres put in it. It was actually added into the actual rig, and it is a lovely rig. Plate and load it and tune it up, and as probably Laurie's finding out now, if he's gone on to his FD101 there, he'll probably find he's got to tune it up, and you can't always get the tuning perfect. So what I did, I bought myself one of these little frequency counters, put that in line with it, and that gave me a better idea where the frequency on the rig was, so I could get a bit more accurate and use it that way. And of course with the 101, max output power on that is 100 watts and no more, and that's all I use on it. Used to throw a long wire out from where it used to be in a masonette across the garage area, and a ground plane for it was a tube wire wrapped up about the length of it, the top band, and strung out the window to sort of counteract the long wire. And it works all right, but not perfect. But at least it did work. Anyway, I've got the 101 now. Unfortunately, it's I did give it to somebody to repair for me, and I think they run the right balls up with it, and I don't know what's happened to it now. Wish I still had it now, and I hope to, if I had known then, I would have said to Guy, here's a 101, I'm sure you can sort it out. He likes sorting things out on the 101. Nice to have been sorted out, no problem at all. But there we are. I made a mistake and given somebody else to sort out for me. And I'm not in the realms of doing that sort of thing like Guy is and other people. But there we are. That's me. Right, jump off with me. I'll put it back round to Mark and 0JCF. Over to you, Mark, on G0FDB in a 160 metre group.
G0FDP M0JCF in the Cray Valley top band net. Well, I mean, my point wasn't really sort of a disparaging point of new hams. I mean, I'm a new ham, but an old ham, if you know what I mean, just not licensed way back in the 70s. Because, of course, I think I've said many times I failed the RAE in 1978 as a stroppy teenager. No, it was more of a case of, I think people, you know, like the new hams of today, you know, with the M7s, M6s maybe, not so much the M3s nowadays, but you know, the M7s especially, you know, the pandemic and the lockdown gave everyone that opportunity to, you know, do a bit of self-study, do the exams online and everything, and I think, you know, they jumped straight off of whatever they were doing, and of course, really, the first things they come across, you know, apart from second-hand rigs, you know, the first thing they'll come across is the new offerings now, and you know, they're between sort of many hundreds and multiples of thousands of pounds, you know. But the point is they don't necessarily allow them to get the coveted DX, etc., that you know, that an older radio will give just as easy. I mean, this 520 I paid, or 520S, I paid 150 quid for it, and it cost me 30 quid for a bit of an alignment, the detector stage sorted out. There's still a little bit of an issue with the ALC, and not the AL, yeah, the AGC, sorry, not the ALC. And there was a few problems with it. It cost me 30 quid with someone who had better test gear than me to actually sort it out for me, you know. So for 180 quid, all right, it doesn't do walk bands, and it hasn't got a lot of the filtering and bells and whistles that a modern rig has, but you know, I've operated from top band to 10 meters on it, and I've worked some really good DX on it just recently, just using a long wire. You know, I mean, really, the antennas are probably the thing that really lets me down. And there's me waxing lyrical about what radios you should and shouldn't get, and I've got probably you know, one of the least efficient antennas in some respects for, you know, working rare DX, etc. But who knows? I mean, you know, it's just something to say, and it something to bang on about. Right, I'm going to be wrapping this one up for myself because I know you're itching to get onto AM. I haven't got the AM transmit capability on this radio, and I'm not going to go charging up into the loft now. What I can do is, with very careful tuning, I can normally resolve AM. I certainly can resolve AM broadcast stations on this radio, you know, but very careful tuning on one of the sidebands. So I may be able to pick you up. So I'll keep the video running just for now. Dev, I think it was you, Dev. Yeah, if you've been following the YouTube videos, yeah, basically it's there as storage space for me. It wasn't really meant to be a public thing, but it's become a public thing, and people seem to be giving me good feedback on it. I mean, it's just me talking, really, apart from one of the antenna things that I put up. But going off on a tangent and talking about the YouTube channel, I've decided that maybe I'm going to put a few educational videos in there, but educational in as much as just regurgitating what I learned as a youngster when I was 11 years old, for instance. I built my first crystal set, but I want to break it down, and I'll take any suggestions, good, bad or ugly. Flame wars accepted. Always take a flame war in. I love a flame war, but I'm going to do things like, for instance, the tank circuit, you know, the LC tuned circuit. You know, I'm going to show how to wind a coil, wire up a capacitor, blah, blah, blah. Make the tank circuit. Now, I've got an old Heathkit GDO, whether, you know, that is be going too far. But basically, I just want to show how a tank circuit works. Then, you know, detectors, various detectors, whether it's diodes, using a transistor as a detector, homemade detectors using various minerals and stuff, and gradually sort of build upon, you know, like each section. So, you know, you get a tank circuit, then you get the detector circuit, so now you've got a crystal set, then a one transistor amplifier, and sort of make these tiny little instructional videos that if you follow them one after the other, you begin to build a radio. And, you know, you go from, as I say, just, you know, basic coil winding and capacitor wiring, etc., to, you know, and I mean, I know for a lot of people it's going to be sucking eggs, and you know, some people might think, well, why are you putting this video up? There are 15 billion YouTube videos that are very well produced on how to build a radio, build a crystal set, you know, build coils, etc. It's just something that I thought to myself, you know, if people are looking at the channel and, you know, maybe they're just avid CBers or something like that. You know, we've had a lot of it recently of people, I don't need a piece of paper telling me where I can operate at that. But suddenly, with a lot of them, the pennies dropped. And actually, that little bit of paper does allow you to do a hell of a lot more than you could even without the bit of paper, you know. You know, there's, you know, you're not treading on anyone's toes when you've got that bit of paper. You can pretty much go where you want, when you want, how you want. I mean, I know that's oversimplifying it and maybe overstating it, but you get what I'm saying. So I'll take any comments on that. It doesn't necessarily have to be here now because I know you want to move on. But, you know, if you want to email me, Facebook me, messenger me, whatever it is, the only thing is at the moment I've on my iPhone I've got a WhatsApp, but I haven't got it set up or anything yet, so you can't WhatsApp me. But I just thought I'd you know, like, lay that on you. And I know there's only 7 of us on tonight, so it's quite a small audience, possibly with a wider audience, but I'm not hearing anyone because I'm on noise floor. Right, well, that ramble over. As I say, I'm gonna keep the video running, but I won't be coming back again. Certainly not on the AM, and then I'll be cutting off the video once I've heard a little bit, and that's it. So I've passed. Yeah, I'm passing it around to Dave, aren't I? G6 NRH M0JCF in the Cray Valley net.
M0JCF G6 NRH. Yeah, all copied there, Mark, and I think that would be a good idea, mate. I mean, even though you know it and you think, oh, if you're telling somebody something, it helps you as well, and it just spreads the news. But I'm all for it when it comes to that, mate. Oh, God, now I've got problems with the tuning now, so I'm playing up. Oh, dear. I think I have to make this my final. I won't hang around for AM because this thing started playing up. And I'll pass it over to you, Trevor. I do apologise. Anyway, over to you, Trevor. M1TAD G6 NRH. Going to you, I think.
G6 NRH, Mike 1 Tango Alpha Delta return to the group. You understood that, Dave? Yeah, good night. I've got a lot more to add, actually. As I said, a few bits and pieces that I've got going. And that's it from me, mate. So I'll pass it over to you, Dev. M0WDV, M1TAD in the group.
M1TAD, thanks Trevor, from M0WDV. Mark, I think that would be a good idea, actually. Educational content would be great. I have a degree in electronics, so I do understand electronics, and but the thing is, it's most of it, it's also my hobby, but it's mostly been digital, so some practical, and you know, you can always learn, even if you think you know it, there's always stuff to learn, so I think that would be great, actually, and it might encourage some newcomers into the hobby. The more the merrier. So I'd say, go for it. That sounds like an awesome idea, and yeah, I'm sure I'll learn something from it as well. So that would be absolutely great. All right, I'm going to pass it around to Guy. Are we switching to AM now, Guy? Before I do that, I just want to say I couldn't hear Laurie in the last over. I guess it's probably just my rubbish antenna, but apologies, Laurie, I just couldn't hear you. I wanted to ask you, but I won't. But if you're hearing this, and maybe someone else in the net could pass the message back to me, whether you're still doing the Morse classes on Monday night, whether you're going to be doing it next Monday, and just remind me of the frequency. I think you said it was 144.9, but I'm not sure if that's right. All right, I'm going to pass it back to Guy. Golf 0 UKN, this is Mike 0 Whiskey Delta Victor. Okay, somebody else just called in. Who just called in from G0 UKN, listening?
sure I heard somebody between Dav and Trevor. Did somebody else want to call in on the Cray Valley Monday evening net? G0 UKN listening? No, nothing heard. Yeah, Laurie, Dav wanted to know whether you're going to be continuing with the CW nets if you weren't copying him, that you have other times on a Monday night. So a question for you. And Mark, I know what you mean about. I mean, I love old radios. I use pretty much mostly old radios. I pulled one out of a skip pile today. That you'd have been all over, which was a Cobra 146 GTL. So we're going to have a play with that over the next few days when I've got nothing else to do. So yeah, that was today's freebie acquisition. Right, I am going to switch transmitters. I'm going to switch to the KW Vanguard and Eddistone's receiver, and I will come back on AM, and then I will pass it to Laurie G4FAA on AM, hoping that he can come back to me on AM, and we'll see how many people we can work. All the signals are quite good, so I'm hopeful we should be able to work most people on AM. So this is G0 UKN, just dropping carrier, and then we'll be coming back in a second or two on AM from G0 UKN. November, now back on AM, running a KW Vanguard and an Eddystone 888 receiver. I will pass it round to G0 FAA to see if we can copy him on AM, and if I hear nothing from him, I'll take it to G0 FDP, who I know I will hear. So G4 FAA, I wonder if you copy G0 UKN listening.
And that's one of the things that you have to be aware of. The tuning is quite critical on the narrow band ham transmissions. You'll get heterodyning, you get a beat. Not quite getting G4 FAA. Doesn't help, I've got a plus 20 noise and he's probably running about 8 watts carrier. I'm not sure if what radio he said he was using.
Yeah, Golf 4 Fox Alpha Alpha G0 UKM. Well, it sounds fine, Laurie. Sounds no problem at all. I don't know if the others are copying you, but I'm copying you, no problem. Q5. Not the strongest signal I've ever heard, but this is the first successful AM contact I think we've had. I don't think we've actually had a successful AM contact on 160 before, so nice one. Okay, well I'll pass it back over to you, and then if you pass it on to Frank FDP, G4 FAA, G0 UKN in the group. Has he broken it now?
He's still there. I've gone and turned the heaters off on the valves. I was hoping he would hear that. Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was still getting the carrier, but no, not much audio.
I can hear him. No, nothing yet. They're not warm enough. I can hear him.
Can you, Mark?
because the rest of us can't.
Yeah, he's just passed over to Frank. Over to you, Frank. I'm on lower sideband. Guy, if you can hear me, I'm still on LSB, but he passed it over to Frank.
Okay, round to you, Frank. Yeah, I just switched on the sideband so I could hear you, Mark, but round to you, Frank. To start with, when Roy came up first and he passed it over to him, he's got quite a nice signal. He's still good at quite a nice signal, but no audio. But when he first came up, he was saying he had a nice and clear audio. He wasn't quite so loud with me, I could hear what he was saying, but when he passed it back to him afterwards, well, he's still got his nice signal strength, but no audio, so I don't know what he's done there, but
so there you go. You can listen to AM on a sideband rig. A lot of fiddling about.
But the similarly, it's not quite such a good quality, so at least it would still work. That's amazing as well. But there we are. Anyway, I'll put it back to you guys. I don't know which one we're going to go to now after this. Anyway, from G0 to base, back to you guys. G0 UKN.
G0 UKN returning. Okay, cool. Well, people really want to come back, so I'll pass it over to Dave. G6NRH, G0 UKN in the group. And by the way, Frank, it's a little bit over the top, but it sounds fine to me. You could probably turn the mic gain down a bit. Round to you, Dave. G6NRH, G6NRH, G0 UKN, listening for you.
Finally, someone's turned off that buzzing noise. Yeah, he went QRT. G0 UKN, M0 JCF on lower sideband. Yeah, Dave was going QRT. He had a problem, if I remember rightly.
Oh, okay, if he's disappearing, that's why he's not on here. But never mind, we gave it a go. Round to M1TAD. Is this going to be a first view for an AM contact on 160 metres? Are you still with us? M1TAD, and you have got a Vanguard and a Viceroy. I'm sure those are the two you had, and yes, we've got to get them on the air. M1TAD, G0 UKN in the group.
Returning, yeah, understood. I'm hoping you're getting me. As I said, and this would be the first AM on top, man. I logged you when you first come on there, Guy, just to put it in the log to say that obviously I've contacted someone on top, man, and that this one's going to go in the log as well if you're reading me okay. So I'll pass it back to you, Guy. As I said, I'm at the end of the queue, and we've got Dav. I don't know if Dav is going to be available. Let's go for Dav. M0 WDV from M1TAD in the group.
M1TAD, this is M0 WDV. I'm not sure if anyone's hearing me. I'll just pass it back to you, Trevor, just to see if you're getting me. By the way, Guy, I was hearing you and Guy fine. I'll come back to the remaining signal ports in a minute. Back to you, M1TAD.
Yes, Dav, M0 WDV from M1TAD in the group. Yes, obviously on AM I've got quite a lot of interference and noise, but as I said, you are making it. So you're hitting the 9 with the noise as well. So I can read you, Dav. So I'll pass it back to you. M0 WDV from M1TAD in the group.
WDV returning up from the top band Cray net. Yes, so I couldn't hear Laurie at all. North
but it seems like everybody else is spot on 1905.0 and you were on 1905.3. But still, you know, just it did make such a small difference. It really didn't make any difference in the audio. But yeah, all working apart from the weaker signals. I couldn't get Laurie at all. So still don't know if he's doing the Morse class. Back to you guys. Golf Zero. Uniform Kilo November from Mike Zero Whiskey Delta Victor.
Uniform Kilo and November returning. Yeah, the reason why I'll be slightly off frequency compared to you guys on modern kit, Dav, is I'm running a KW Vanguard, all valve transmitter and separate receiver. The receiver dates from mid to probably around about October 1958, based on the receipt I've got all the paperwork for it. So the transmitter dates from 1958, and likewise the receiver. So and it was never originally designed for top band. So if I'm 300 hertz out, I reckon that's a result. So in fact, more than a result. I think it's bloody marvellous. So that's the story on this side. If you've ever seen the film Dr. No, I'm using an identical setup, both transmitter and receiver, to Our Lady in Jamaica used to talk to London in Dr. No. And if you put KW Vanguard Dr. No into Google, you'll see Our Lady in Jamaica using the same transmitter and receiver that I'm using here at the moment. So yeah, 300 hertz is not bad between friends. Okay, well, let's see if we can pass it back to Laurie, because the first time he came up, he was a brilliant signal, and then we just got like a minute or two of dead carrier. So I think he may have turned the audio, the mic gain down a little bit too far. I wonder if you're back with us, Laurie. G4FAA, G0UKN in the group. Okay, Laurie, well, you're 5 and 9 again that time, so whatever you've done, don't touch it. So, yeah, it sounds fine now. You're not super strong, and Dav is not super strong, but both Q5 without any problems at all. Trevor, you're 5'9", it's lovely sounding audio as well from that 7300, and they do love a bit of AM, the 7300. I've noticed that they sound very, very good indeed. I guess it's manufactured AM being done in software, and it does a fine job of it compared to inserted carrier AM. This, of course, is plate modulated proper AM that's coming out of here, so hopefully it sounds okay. But yeah, Trevor, it sounds absolutely fab. Okay, round to the top of the list. It's getting warm in this shack, it has to be said. What's the old temperature gauge saying? Oh, it's saying it's nearly 80 degrees in the shack. That's probably all these valves. It's all the valves glowing, as Tony Hancock would say. I'll pass it round to Frank, and oh no, actually it goes back round to Laurie, for Laurie's over, and I hope you haven't touched anything, and then you pass it round to Frank, Laurie. G4FAA in the group, G0UKN.
He's broke it. Right, it's just coming up to 1 hour and 15 minutes, so I'm gonna stop the video. And Somebody tuning, maybe. Yeah, that'll do. That's enough for him to be getting on with. And at 1 hour and 15 minutes plus some seconds, we'll stop the video.